The last 7 months has been a nightmare. It's been, probably the worst time of my life.
Will Alex Rodriguez have a career waiting for him on the other end of the suspension? The Yankee slugger is suspended through 2014 for links to a Florida clinic accused of handing out performance enhancers. 3 other players received the same punishment, but all eyes are on ARod, the highest paid slugger in baseball. He can play the rest this year. Arbitration is not expected until late fall. But with nicknames like ARod and ARod burning up social media, does he have any hope of restoring his reputation? We're joined in studio tonight by Jim Toth, host of the Upper Deck Sports Show on CJOB 68, a partner of mine in radio, and the man who's got the best hair in radio, although that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. There are no performance enhancers up there.
Oh, this is all natural,
it's
baby.
All natural.
It's natural flow, and your audience thanks you for letting them see it.
All right, and because people know my Hungarian genes, they ought to know that sometimes Hungarian genes work out properly, and you too have those genes.
From the hairline up, anyways. Nowhere else.
Okay, so here's what I need to know. Beyond the ego, beyond the attitude, people call him an a-hole and an ARod and all the rest of it. Putting all that aside, as an athlete, do you, and you're a former athlete yourself, do you believe that ARod needed these performance enhancers to be the slugger that he was?
No, I think he needed them to keep pace with everybody else. I think that he's a phenomenal athlete. I think he was a surefire Hall of Famer, I think, by 26, 27 years old. I think that what he did was keep pace with what was going on with Major League Baseball. And I think there's that pressure that comes with it. I don't think he's a self-confident man, and I think that that's a product of coming into where he came from and just being a global star right away. There's an enormous amount of pressure to keep pace with everything that's going on, especially when you put up the numbers that he put up as a young athlete. So I think he's a product of what went on in that era of baseball, but I don't think he needed it. I think what he needed to do was keep pace with the Barry Bonds, the Mark McGuires. When he's naturally hitting 40 home runs a year and these guys start hitting 70 juiced, he probably thinks, I don't look like I should performance-wise and stats-wise, because I should be hitting 70 like these guys, because I was a home run guy before those guys started taking it.
Now, one problem, and I know sometimes looks are deceptive, but when I look at the evolution of a Barry Bonds, of a Sammy Sosa, these guys started to look almost, like cartoon characters.
Yes.
That's what I never saw that with ARod. So I just don't have and I'm not a doctor. I don't want to play one on TV, but I just don't think he did exactly the same things.
No, I just think, like I said, he kept pace. I don't think he was the Jose Canseco, stick this in my butt 4 times a week and let's go pump some iron. I think he took the performance enhancers like the PEDs to keep pace, to get the muscle structure, to do the powerful things that you do, to take, much like you add protein to your diet to get more muscle mass and that. I think that's what he did. I don't know what Barry Bonds looks like. He might have self-combusted or exploded by now because he kept getting bigger, more bloated. You even see Mark McGuire, who's a coach with the Dodgers now. He still has that bloated look to him, although it's older and it's sinking in. The ramifications of massive steroid use you're starting to see on these other guys. I don't think you'll see that in ARod. But, part of the baseball problem was the number one position that took this stuff was pitchers. And I heard that covering minor baseball here in Winnipeg. A lot of the guys around the Goldeyes organization goes, when you get into the Major League, AA, AAA, and see the guys who are doing it, it's pitchers. It's the Andy Pettits, you're out 6 weeks with a hamstring. But if you take this, you could be back in 2, and it's not banned, so let's take it. A lot of the pitchers were on this stuff that are now banned and whatnot. But we see the Barry Bonds, the Mark McGuires, the Sammy Sosas, the physical difference, the Jeff Bagwells of the world that came back 25 pounds lighter, and we think those are the steroid users. But a lot of them took it just to heal up faster, just to do everything unnaturally to keep playing baseball.
It used to really bother me that people would take shots at Roger Clemens when the story came out about his steroid use. The reason it bothered me is because I was up close and personal. I saw Roger Clemens when I was with the Boston Red Sox, covering the Boston Red Sox. Nobody outworked Roger Clemens. Nobody was more serious about the game. And so for people who had the impression that all he did was inject himself, and that's why he was Roger the Rocket. That's such nonsense.
Well, and those things only pay off when you're on this stuff and you put the work in. You can't just take it and expect it to happen. You have to hit the weights. You have to do the work. And that's why a guy like Roger Clemens, perhaps it did taint a good portion of his career, or maybe 8 to 10 years of it, because he did put the work in and he did last. To me, Roger Clemens, when I started having doubt, because I'm a Houston Astros fan, when he was with the Astros and taking him the World Series, he could get through the regular season and then it ended.
Yeah.
And then it became like the hamstring and the quad and this. Everything started breaking down because at that age of 40, and you're doing what you did so well for 6 months at a time, by the 7th month, your body is just strained because it's the drugs that are helping you perform like this. It's pushing your body, and eventually your body breaks down.
Is ARod done?
I don't think he's done. I think he'll play this year. I don't think we'll see him again next year. And I know nobody thinks he's sincere. I think he's sincere. I think for the first time in his life is being taken away from him. Money can buy you anything. He's been divorced. He's dated Madonna. He's done all this stuff. But this is the one thing he's done since he was a kid. This is the one thing that's made him who he was. And to have that gone, because we all saw that at press conference, he doesn't realize that this is going away eventually. I don't think he understands that by the time you're 42, you might not play baseball again. I don't think he's thought that through.
So there's no year after. Okay, let's say he's out for the full year next year. You don't think he can come back after that?
I don't think anyone will give him a chance to come back. I think even at 41 or 40, whatever he'll be, even if he could hit 280, I don't think people want to deal with the drama. I don't think anybody wants to. I don't think it's the NFL where the Dallas Cowboys or the Oakland Raiders will say, come play for us. We'll give you a chance and sell some tickets. I think what he's done in baseball, and basically off the field too, his reputation, everyone can use a 300 hitter. A, will he be able to do it? And then B, do you want to put up with everything in case he doesn't and you have him there? Look what the Yankees are going through right now with him. They don't want him there, and yet he's still being this distraction.
How much money has ARod made?
He's made $250 million on his deal with the Texas Rangers. He's made millions before that. He has endorsements. I mean, he's probably $500-600 million. Whether it's in the bank or not, I don't know. I know he's divorced. I know he dated Madonna, although she has her own money, but that can be expensive.
But the thing is, for a guy who has this kind of net worth or potential net worth, it really is amazing that he would put all of that at risk.
Well, and that's where I get back to, he's sincere. At the root of it, he's a child who wants to play baseball, and baseball's being taken away from him. Out of all the things he has in his life, I think that's the one thing he wants, and that's the one thing that's being taken away from him. So people say he's not sincere. I agree with that. He's an arrogant, egotistical guy. But they're taking away the only thing he knows, the only thing he loves probably in life. And I thought that was a sincere part of his talk, where he says, I'm fighting for my life, because his life is swinging that bat on a baseball field. Where's he going to go when that's over? What's he going to do?
30 seconds left. The Commissioner of Baseball wants everyone to believe that now that they've been done with these suspensions, now that this is all announced and out there, baseball is the cleanest sport in the history of sport.
No. Maybe more than Russian weightlifting. I don't know. No offense to the Russians. But no, I don't think it is. I believe him when he says it's cleaner than it's ever been. He said that at the All-Star break. But I think that could be, instead of 90% of the players on it, could be 87%. So but they're on the right track.
This isn't our last drug story in baseball.
No.
All right. Jim, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jim Toth, my partner in crime on radio, and tonight on the Sun News Network.